Turn the audio on. Oh, we don't want that one on. And hello and welcome to the first recap for the new season for Matchday 1. I'm joined in the commentary booth as ever by Danton and Khornight. I'm just realising that I had updated the Twitch stream description, but now it's reverted to what it was before.
Did you press OK?
I pressed done. I pressed stop recording, and then to be honest, I pressed stop recording. I set it all up perfectly. I pressed stop recording, and then OBS stopped. So
yeah, I can see the OCC MD1 title.
Yes, I'm just going to change that now. But anyway, how are you guys? You do some talking while I type this. Danton, how are you doing? You still in Ireland, I'm guessing?
Oh, very much so. Here for the next almost 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah. So enjoying the weather, of course.
Yeah.
It's actually quite sunny at the moment. He says, knowing full well he's not going to leave the house today at all.
It's not sunny here, but it's incredibly mild. Like normally this time of year, you'd expect to be quite chilly, and it's like 13, 14 degrees most days.
It's not even raining.
Yeah.
Not even raining.
What's going on?
I don't know. Well, everyone's looking out the window now, so I can see that much.
Yeah, I'm just looking because as the closest that the two of us, Khornight, to Ireland, I'm just seeing what the weather's like here, and it's sort of grey and overcast but bright. Anyway, let us know what the weather's like in your area in the chat. Yeah, let's go there. So should we make a start with chatting wildly? We should probably make a chart, shouldn't we? So let's have a look.
Matchday 1, all the matches have been played, right? Well,
yeah.
Although I don't think the round has been forwarded.
Did your pleas go on deaf ears, Khornight? Did they?
Sorry, no, I'm using myself so I could check the levels. I can promise you that at least Danton and you sound fine, basically.
Yeah,
So I didn't get around to asking the admins to roll it because
it's all right. I mean, all that does is basically it means that we don't have the spike betting, right?
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's fine.
I've opened a snip and taken a snip of the coming week, and I will do the beautiful usual initialing of our bets. Yeah.
Yeah. Fine.
And I'll post it in the channel.
Yeah, although I mean, once the round has been updated, then I guess we can just do it there as well.
Yeah, but I like to, I want to do it anyway for me because I'll forget what I chose and then choose something random.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, so let's get on to the games that have been played.
Yeah, absolutely. Which one do you want to
do
first?
Well, let's start at the top. And the first game was the last game of the week, which was Warpstone Watchers Wolfbark against the 9090s. I didn't watch all of this, but I did turn it on towards the end. So I saw Wolfbark had turned over Lasker in the first half and scored on his drive and then had the ball and was wandering up the field while Lasker looked like he was just trying to stay out of the way of killing.
Yeah.
So I imagine. I mean, that obviously he's got those two horrific blitzers. I imagine they did a fair bit of damage.
No, actually. So when I turned it on, and he was going for the second score, there was one send off and 5 or 6 KOs. So he didn't do any damage at all, except for KO. He didn't do anything permanent, and all the removals were KOs. I don't know if he got even more removals in the first half.
Yeah,
as in more KOs and they came back.
When I say damage, I mean basically removals is what I mean.
Yeah. So it was a lot of KOs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that is all you need to win the game, right? Or to have the on-field superiority.
I mean, but KOs can also, totally, all come back after the half and not be an advantage at all, can't they?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, they tend to be worth more in the second half than the first half. But yeah, I mean, it's the KO lottery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just showing you some of the highlights from the game on the screen here. And yeah, I mean, it was a 2-0 well, and yeah, he absolutely stole the ball, and then you can see he ran it in here. It's quite a new feature on Dice or Not, where it shows you the ball being stolen and so on.
There's not many
the arrows on the
not many
pitch. That's quite nice.
Not many players on the pitch there at all, are there?
No, there's not. There's hardly any Bretts there. You can see at the bottom there. There's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the KO box, and 3 in reserves with one sending off. So yeah, it's there's not many left.
I wonder if the highlighting in the reserve box suggests that the greyed out one was he surfed? Maybe is that supposed to indicate that one of them was surfed?
Yeah,
or maybe
yeah. I think to show he wasn't a reserve. I think.
Or he could have been Apoed, maybe.
Oh yeah, or Apo. Yeah, good point.
But yeah, I just want to, and again, I just want to show Dice or Not here because it just shows it's got nice. It must have updated it, the guide, because it's got nice turn summaries now with just showing the moves and so on, which is quite nice. But yeah, as you say, Khornight, I think they did steal the ball, didn't they? And they stole it between turn 2 and 3. I think it's just about to come up. There we go. That's the blitz there. Then the ball's loose, and then they pick it up and then run it in on turn 8, which is absolutely fantastic. It's what you want to do. But as I say, there weren't many Bretts left on the pitch by then. And then second half, again, it's not much.
I guess from seeing the number of KOs at the moment that none of the KOs came back after the score.
No, 4 stayed asleep. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the pitch now, this shows Warzone Watchers turn 9, and you can see the Bretts have kind of opted for a defensive position there. I mean, what do you think
that's not a defensive. That's a running away position. Yeah.
That's basically that they've given up, and they're just preserving their players.
Absolutely. What do you think about that? Is that fair enough? I mean, and again, he's clicking through each turn as well. He's not making any attempt to.
Yeah, just running away.
I mean, it's match day 1 in a 9-round league, right? So if you use your Apo and the opponent's got some horrific killers on their team, and you think you lost your drive, I can understand it. He wants to preserve players, and losing one match is not the end of the world. But if you lose some key players, obviously that can be a bigger setback.
I mean, still.
I think the opposite.
7 versus 11. I mean, still.
I think the opposite. I think it's the first game of the season. It's almost the most important time to win games, right? You shouldn't be giving up after being turned over in the first half. You should be trying to get the ball back. I'm not saying that I would do this in this scenario. I'm just saying I can understand why he might think like that. I mean, Calcium ran away from me in the last game of the season, last season, and that makes more sense to me. Protecting your team at the end of the season when you know you haven't got anything to win, type thing, is one thing. But there's so much to play for at this point. At the beginning of the season, it's so important to get those early wins. I think.
I don't know. I mean, there's a big psychological sort of aspect to it, right? I mean, he
hadn't actually lost anything either, had he? He's just
but he lost the ball on his drive. He took a lot of damage, and I can understand that mentally he wasn't in the game anymore. I mean, it's the sort of thing that happens.
Yeah, it is, and just watching the rest of the moves here, he didn't go for the 2-turn either. I mean, it's the ball landed fairly far forward, and Wolfbart set up in a sort of pseudo ship formation. So it was on. It was on. I mean, I'll just click on 15 there so it holds it. But I mean, that's. I mean, he's just got. He hasn't got anything. He's just got animosity. That's the kill. That's one of the killers there, and the other one is obviously on the. I think on the other side. But I mean, you can still perhaps get through where I'm showing the mouse now through this side for the 2-turn attempt. I mean, it's only one. Well, it's 2-0 at that point, I suppose. So yeah, maybe it isn't worth going for it, but
no, the 2-turn is definitely worth going for. Because
SPP, right? I mean,
it's not just SPP. It's also goal difference can be a factor when it comes to later in the season as a tiebreaker. So Yeah, you definitely. I mean, it's worth going for the 2-turn score, and Brett's can easily score in 2 turns as well.
Okay, right. I'm just going to press the button to see what the machine thinks about the dice in this particular game. And so, yeah, so Wolfbox actions were better than 96 and 100 games. That's obviously subject to a load of provisos. And Laska's actions were better than only 6.95 in 100 games. And the unhelpful phrase that the bot has put up here is they should they should try Necromantic next season because their dice are dead, which isn't helpful really, but perhaps a good representation of what happened.
Yeah, I wonder how. I mean, obviously, I think the key is how the turnover happened in the first half. I wonder if it was just like a badly timed snakes, or I mean, why was the ball exposed so early on?
I mean, we can look at that now. So this is turn 2 where the ball was, or turn 3 we want perhaps, where it was hit. Okay, maybe turn 4. Yeah, so it's turn 4. So at the end of his turn 4,
Where's the ball?
so the ball is here, where my mouse is now with circumflex. Lol.
Okay.
So let's play it through. So he's moving his players here. He leaves the ball exposed now, which you can see. And then he has a turnover. I guess he did he try and move out of a dodge there? I guess he did. I mean, that's pretty...
Probably, maybe he won in 9 or something.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he moved... Let's just watch that again. So he makes that move, which is fine. Makes that... This is the move, I think, that caused the turnover. He moved that in, and then he... I think he clicks on another piece to move it, and he... it's a GFI. It's here now. It's clear. I should read the actual script. So he made a GFI and didn't, and then that was it.
Well, one reroll 1 on the GFI.
One reroll 1. Yeah, he meant to tag this Underworld Gobbo here. That left the ball exposed.
I mean, doing a GFI with your ball carrier exposed is generally not a good idea.
No,
I mean,
absolutely.
But he's already down numbers here, isn't he?
Yeah, he's down 3 already. Yeah, 4 possibly.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you still got enough players to protect the ball.
Well, I'd move the ball first at least, because clearly he's going to want to move the ball around this side, because that's where he's moving the players. But yeah, you don't want a GFI there. I mean, and that's quite tilting as well, isn't it? Because oh my god, I failed a 1 with a reroll, a 2+ with a reroll. That's quite. That is, I know as an elf coach that is quite irritating, isn't it? So
it's also quite frequent.
Yeah, that's the thing. It is quite frequent. So especially at this level, you think you'd be better placed on that.
Yeah.
What do you think? Anything to add, Khornight? Do you think?
He's already used his Apo. He's down 5 players, not 4.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, let's just get rid of that at the
moment.
moment.
Yeah, he's down to 6 players. It's almost worth just running away at that point and hoping that you can turn him over in the second half rather than leaving the ball opening, or retreat, run away.
So do we know what the Underworld took for inducements?
Glart was definitely there, and a wizard, because the wizard Wolfbark never actually used.
Right.
I don't know beyond that.
No, I don't have. I don't think I got that up, unfortunately.
I mean,
anyway.
Well, so Glart and a wizard looks like pretty much all of the inducement money. Yeah. So their TV difference was 380. Glart is 260.
Yeah, but there was Nuffalota, right?
Oh yeah, so 210. Yeah.
So maybe that's it. Maybe bribes. I'm not sure. But
so basically, no. Wizard and Glart is the entirety of the inducements. Maybe a babe or something.
Okay. Cool. All right. Betting wise, then, who bet on Wolfbark to win that one?
Well, it was just so the man of the week is going to be Gruff. Got the bet right, and I also got the bet right. You two both thought Ethelred thought Lasker was going to win, and because I talked about Wolfbark being a better coach?
Yeah.
Danton chose the draw instead.
Yeah, I mean, I went for a draw. I mean, I thought that the Bretts had all the tools to deal with the underworld. But I mean, obviously, the coaching edge was probably on Wolfbog's side, so that's why I went for the draw.
Yeah. Well, we were wrong this time, Danton, but it's early days. And I put Khornight, I put Spider on the list here as well. I don't know if he has bet at all.
No, he's not.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because he's not in either of our divisions, I imagine he probably won't be betting this time.
Okay. Well, let's sort that out now.
I mean, if he does appear,
Yeah,
then
we
obviously
can-
we can just add him. Yeah.
That's fine. Makes it a bit clearer. All right. Cool. Well, Danton, you're up next by the look of it with the Celtic Tigers. You can talk about it while I get the correct screen up. But yeah, is there any particular points in this game you want us to talk about?
You want me to relive my pain, do you?
Yeah. Sorry. Or did anything happen? I mean, it was unfortunately you lost 4-2 or 2-4 because it was your stadium. And I think you mentioned something in Discord, didn't you?
Yeah, I did put something on there. Basically, I mean, this was always, from my perspective, this was always going to be a shootout. Quite a high-scoring game. Basically, because I think it's really hard to try and stall against this vampire team. He's got 5 very developed vampires. I think 3 of them are legend, and 3 or 4 of them are movement 7. Right. So even though my team is faster than his, it's still very difficult to try and plan out a 2 or 3 turn score against this team, just because they can gaze any receivers that you have. They can, get through your screens to your ball carrier if you leave it in range. They just have so many tools to dispossess you of the ball that, I thought, okay, I've got the one turner. Let's just try and play on defense as much as possible and score quickly, when I get the ball. That's basically my thinking. So they actually chose to receive first, which surprised me because normally vampires prefer to defend. And he did score in 2. He was reasonably lucky with the score because he'd burned his reroll, I think, on a double skulls or on a bloodlust. I can't remember what. But he still went with the, dodging. Oh, no, that's right. The receiver, I think, bloodlusted and he re-rolled it.
Right.
Took it to the end zone. He still had to do like a handoff and pass.
Yeah, I can see it here. It's a handoff and then a pass, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's quite a long pass as well, isn't it?
Yeah, edge 5 though, I think it was. So it was still like a 2 or 3. But yeah, he still had to do quite a sequence of rolls without a re-roll, but it all paid off and he scored. Then I one turned straight back, and then it was his drive again, and then his drive. So I did have a wizard, but I was trying to hold on to the wizard as long as possible. And his drive, he actually this time he went about it kind of in a slightly more protracted way. One thing that he did very well was on both kickoffs. On his drive, he immediately my dirty player who was behind the screen, but obviously, with vamps, there's no protection just by screening your players. So the first time he gazed someone and then, blitzed him. And the second time he just went round the back and just sort of GFI'd twice to hit him. And because my dirty player had a niggle, the second time he actually injured him on the blitz. So I had a bribe as well. So obviously that was a bit of a setback in terms of my general strategy of trying to get some vamps on the floor and foul them. Then the drive got quite messy. He kind of broke away with the player, but I managed to tag him, and he actually snake-eyed trying to dodge away. So I managed to win the ball back.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then, the same issue, even though I'd won the ball, it's still almost impossible to protect it. And the Vamps just, got it back again. And they managed to score in their turn 8. Again, there were a lot of dice involved. I had kind of stolen the ball back again. And he had to do he used his strength 6, freight train to do a 2-die blitz that he had to re-roll because he didn't get the yellow. And then the scatter had to go perfect because he needed 2 GFIs to score. If the scatter went anywhere that wasn't forwards, then it was impossible for him to score. But he just got all the dice and scored. And then I had no re-rolls for the one-turner back. And he backlined and I failed the leap to score. So he was 2-1 up at halftime. But then, really, to me, the absolute key moment of the game was my first drive in the second half, where again I was going to go for a one-turner to try and get back on even terms as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And basically, my strength 4 blitzer went to blitz a thrall to make a gap through and quad skull.
I can see that now. Yeah. I just found it.
And that was just, I mean, I'm 2-1 down and I'm quad sculling. Luckily, the kick was deep, but obviously he was able to, get 2 vamps through to pressure me. The next turn, I had still a decent chance to get to the ball, pass it to a blitzer and break away into his half because he strongly committed into my backfield with the deep kick. And then my, retriever catcher, edge for snake eyes, the dodge away from tackle that I needed to get the ball upfield, and that was just basically game over. He just scored straight away. I'm 2 touchdowns down.
Yeah. Back from that,
I try and go for one more one-turner to again, with the same idea, but this time he'd actually he'd kind of figured out how to really strengthen his screen, and the only kind of good, because he has a lot of blowed sidestep and difficult kind of pieces to move out of the way. So I actually went for a red die blitz on his strength 6 vamp that doesn't have sidestep, and obviously even with the reroll I could not roll a skull, and then
the skull there, yeah.
Basically, he stole the ball again. I used the wizard this time just because, there's not really running out of options, but still couldn't stop him, and he scored. And I scored one more one-turner and basically stopped his final attempt at scoring. Although I think he actually 1 in 9 to pass to a throw, or it would have been 5-2 at the very end. So, I mean, it was one of those games where I think I was always up against it. Just so hard to deal with vampires that are that developed. I had no tackle on my team. I did, have the level up on the blitzer before the game. I opted for Mighty Blow instead of tackle. I still think it was the right choice because he got 3 casualties. I did manage to damage a lot of thralls, which, was I mean, it was useful, but just the vampires didn't bloodlust enough in the second half to really make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, the damage you caused is going to be great for MB Carmack, isn't it? Who is the Vamp's next opponent? Who's going to be, facing 5 Vamps and 6 Brawls.
Yeah. Plus, I really wanted a Mighty Blow tackle blitzer for my next game, which is against the Lizards, and basically by taking Mighty Blow first and targeting the Thralls, I achieved that. So I was quite happy at least with that outcome.
Yeah. So what did you score then? 2. I mean, it's pretty good, isn't it? Your haul. You got 2 MNGs, I think.
No, 1. I just have my dirty player's MNG. That's all.
Oh no! You caused. I'm talking.
Oh right, yeah. No, I caused 2 MNGs, and actually I killed a wrestle thrall that he appoed into minus move, I think.
Yeah, and you strength bust 1 as well, which is quite nice.
Yeah,
it was just a rookie, but even so.
I mean, is it worth mentioning that you got 11 SPP on that Mighty Blow blitzer? Which is the same, which is 1 less than the whole of the Vamps got if you exclude, the SPP that landed on Legends.
Yeah, he got 3 casualties and the MVP, no, that's great because he's already well on the way to piling on or whatever his 3rd skill will be.
Yeah, and the dice log was for you 69 to 100 and him 90 to 100, so he had maybe slightly better dice, but again, there's provided.
It's one of those games where, I mean, when it is a shootout like that, it comes down to key moments, and that to me, that turn 9, just turn 9 and 10 just really defined the game, because by him going ahead by 2, after that it was I needed a lot of luck to come back.
Okay, cool. So betting wise, who bet on what for that one, or anything for you to mention, Khornight, on that game?
No, there's not. I don't think there's anything that Danton hasn't covered.
That double skulls was awful, Danton. To be honest, I mean that's dreadful. And then that 2+ dodge, that really fucked you, didn't it? For want of a better word.
Yeah, quad skulls.
I do think that normally, like, so I'm torn about the idea of trying to score a lot and fast and making a shootout against vampires. I think with Danton's team, it's definitely a good plan. I think like having the natural one turner and the other catcher to pick up and stuff makes scoring so easy that it probably is worth just keeping the vampires on offense as much as possible. But they've got, because they're fast, they're actually and strong. They've actually got quite a good offensive capability, especially for a vampire team, relatively speaking. And there is definitely a point where you've got to just try and cope with the onslaught and hope that they actually do lose some players due to bloodlust and not give them those KOs back and chances to bring on substitutes and stuff.
Yeah, he got a reasonable amount of bloodlust in the first half, but unfortunately, none of that sort of removed his players. Nearly all of his vampire bites were stuns. And second half, I think he got a lot less bloodlust. So, yeah, I mean, it's not something that you can just, rely on. Obviously, it's nice if he starts removing his own players, but it didn't really happen.
Okay, and the only two people who bet on the Vamps winning were Ethelred and Gruff.
Wow, Gruff, off the mark.
Again, yeah.
Danton, what's this? 2 games you not even scored a point?
Well, I said I wanted to give you guys a head start this time.
That's true. Okay, oh God, here we go. Right. Talking about dicings. Cool, it's your game next. I'll get it up, you talk us through it. I mean, but, there's not...
I don't think it was particularly a dicing.
Not for you.
I didn't manage to... was it my drive first? I think it was, right?
Yeah, we've done those 2. Right, let me get it up.
I'm pretty sure it was my drive first and I failed to score. Or was I on defence? And I stopped him. I can't remember.
No, you stopped him.
You were defending. You
defended. You defended.
Oh, okay.
First.
It's like the attrition.
I didn't see the beginning of the game, so I don't know how it started out. I just caught most of the second half, I think. But
with a lot, it's a Chorf team. They're massive. Did I use the wizard in the first? No, I managed to stop him and maybe turn the ball over but not score in the first half, and I didn't use the wizard in that time.
Yeah.
So I had the wizard in the second half, I think.
You say it wasn't a dicing, but I would definitely say that you had titanium AV7 for most of the game.
Yeah, you can't say that you didn't.
I did not lose people.
You did not lose people. I was trying to think of the negative there. I mean, it's worth pointing out that Boomer did get broken from the off, didn't he? I think that was the first turn. Was it?
Yeah. So he got so you say you don't lose people, but Boomer left the pitch in turn 1.
Well, that's because he didn't have AV7. If he had AV7, he would have stayed on the pitch.
That's when Boomer left the pitch for the people following it at home. But yeah, I mean. What was your armor break level? I can have a look actually, can't I, on Blood Bowl?
I think my armor break level was actually pretty standard. It was the removals from armor breaks that were kind of a bit low, but not even that low. I think there were a few KOs.
Yeah, I mean he only got 10, didn't he? So 10 armor breaks. It says here.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, he did. I think. One key difference was that you were, mashing the piling on button quite frequently, and he wasn't.
I don't think I ever didn't pile on. I think the only time I didn't pile on was because I'd already cast someone, and I was disappointed I didn't have the opportunity to protect the piling on player.
And he piled on, I think, only 2 or 3 times because I'm pretty sure he was, scared of being fouled. So I mean that was obviously, a kind of an advantage from the matchup for your perspective.
Yeah, I don't care if you foul my my piling on player. He's a berserker. I'll just get another one. He's only got 2 skills. So yeah, like my piling on player is less valuable to me than his piling on player was to him. His piling on player also has a double and a bunch more skills.
Well, he has two or three of them, doesn't he, with piling on?
I think there were 2 piling on players, and they both have claw.
Yeah.
So and I think one of them has guard as well, and another one has jump up. They've got like a lot of skills, and he wasn't using the jump up to take hits with, which I find interesting. I know with dwarfs it's like a 3+, but I'd still have been going for hits more. There were times when I was like, oh, I'm standing next to the jump up player. That's scary. But he just stood up and used it as an assist, rather than risking the.
Well, maybe it was that thing where you forget you got jump up, which I know I've done before. But
it makes that noise.
I mean, I think
you do it once, though.
I do.
Yeah, I mean,
we do need
with
to
three.
Go on.
Sorry. With 3+, it's obviously not a given. But it's. I mean, I can understand why, he values the reliability of having it standing over speculating whether he'll get a free hit. But yeah, I mean, it's not very aggressive.
No. I mean, we should point out, although you did dominate him very much in the first half, he did get the ball to this position, which I've got on the pitch now, and did get a 6 for the pass, but unfortunately he did fluff the catch. He needed a 4+ for that, and he got 2. So yeah, not too bad.
I mean, so I would say that his bad luck wasn't so much bad luck as kind of getting caught up, and I slowed him down by so much. I didn't really. Yeah, didn't really pressure the backfield at all. I just stopped him from getting across the LOS. In fact, I pushed him back from the LOS. And then when he realised it was turn 7 or whatever, and he really needed to move the ball forward, he had to make a risky play, and that risky play failed. It wasn't even that unlucky, in my opinion, that he failed it. It was 6 turns before of not moving forward far enough that were the reason he didn't get forward.
I think a lot of that not moving forward enough is because you still had 10 players on the pitch. I think that's what it was. You couldn't really move forward, or you couldn't get that pocket that you needed to move forward, I think. So yeah, he had to move the ball back. But I mean, all right. That just failing one end action of a quite unlikely play isn't really unlucky, is it? Because it is a desperation play at the end. I mean, he needed a 6 to pass, absolutely. And yeah, he lost that drive earlier because, as you say, he didn't move it far enough forward. But I mean, what's nice here, and I guess this is the level we're at now, is that he still had a chance though to score on turn 8, even though it was unlikely. I mean, it's good to see that.
Well,
he had
Bulls
to score.
Yeah,
at 8.
I mean the Bull Centaurs, I mean, when people talk about BS plays, the Bull Centaurs are often, seen doing this type of play, right? Because it is a dimension that makes the Chorfs such a strong team as well. Because not only are they a really good bash team, but, they do have the option for this type of desperation play.
Well, what isn't effectively a movement 7 to 9 player, because of the sure feet and sprint, on strength 4 is just, it's so hard for most teams to deal with, and there is no other team that gets that kind of that combination of movement and strength, is there?
Not really, no.
Even lizards are slower, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're players that can do some spectacular things. And I mean, generally, I did watch quite a lot of the game, and I thought your play was very solid, and you pressured him very well, but at the same time, I think the dice were very kind.
Yeah,
I mean, I play a lot of 87, and it's something that's leveled at you a lot. Is you didn't die like I expected you to, and I think it's something where people do expect 87 to just melt. And those games are pretty rare.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, as a bash coach, you can't just expect the other team to evaporate.
No, and you certainly didn't. I mean, and again, I'm just highlighting here where you killed a dwarf off a foul, which is really beautiful.
Pretty sweet.
And Cheney died as well, didn't he? But he regened.
That was the first regen for Cheney for a long time. I take him almost every time I get the opportunity.
And that's huge in terms of value.
Oh yeah.
What did
massive.
you do in terms of him using the Apo earlier? Because he had to use the Apo earlier, didn't he, for something? Was that just on a badly hurt? I think
that was on a dwarf. Yeah, no, I badly hurt a dwarf, and he. It was just about it was an MNG even. Was it? It might have been an MNG on one of the piling on players. So he decided it was so important that he Apo'd it, and it was pretty risky, I thought.
Yeah, I thought with all the claw on the field, I thought that was risky, but anyway. But then he paid the price because one of them died, and then and then that was it, really, wasn't it? I don't think there's too much to say. It was 1-0, and then you kind of defend. Well, you had the ball, and then just defended really, and that was more or less it.
Yeah.
Too much else to say.
I mean, basically, was I 1-0 up after? So I scored in the half. Is that right?
No, you prevented the score.
Okay, yeah.
And then you just basically just slowly started to remove them, and I think by the end, by the end you picked up on just a normal rookie lino, I think. He did manage to blitz it and get the ball free, and then you jammily picked it up with an ulf without a re-roll, which is
I had a re-roll. I just didn't need it.
Yeah. No, the reason it was on a rookie lino was because he caught it. He caught it from the kickoff.
Yeah, it was landed on him.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at the top left here of the screen of the injury and KO box, I mean, you can see you've got 5 in there and then 3 KO'd. So you're pretty much unopposed. I mean, unlike perhaps Lasker, he kept playing, didn't he? Naibanon, he didn't retreat at all. He stayed in the game. But yeah, by the end though, I think. Turn 16.
I think his head's definitely dropped when I killed the Chorf.
Yeah.
With the foul.
But he didn't have many players left by then, to be honest, did he?
Yeah.
So I mean this is the board state before you scored. I mean, you're home free on Logan there. He's not being caught by anyone. So, and then that was it. Ran it in 1-0. Did he go for the one turn? I don't think he maybe did a little bit set up for the one turn, but. He didn't get.
No, he set up for the riot more than the one time, if I remember rightly.
And that was.
Yeah, he did. He didn't. He only had like 5 or 6 players. I mean, it was virtually impossible.
Oh yeah, it wasn't even that. Yeah, right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Right, dice wise.
Yeah,
there we go. 98 in 100, 26 in 100 for Naibanon. So yeah,
absolutely diced. 100% dicing.
Streamer, and it's worth saying streamer dice because you did stream this game as well.
I did stream it choppily. Anyway.
Yeah. It's a bit weird. Yeah, I was watching it on my mobile and I was thinking, is it the mobile doing this or is it?
But it was, I mean, obviously we know this game, you can't control the dice, right? But the important thing is, I mean, I thought, Khornight played very solidly. And then, if the dice are kind to you, then fantastic. But the main thing is that, he didn't take the foot off the pedal.
I mean, yeah. Make sure you score and keep fighting. I'm not a fan of giving up.
I don't think anyone's a fan of giving up.
No, I don't think anyone's a fan of it. It's just that sometimes you don't feel like you've got much choice.
But I mean, generally I would always keep fighting. But I can remember times where I have given up because I just valued team conservation more in that situation. I mean, I can understand it, crossing someone's mind.
And added insult, the Has-Sick Cat, the dead.
Yeah. Well, it's
MVP. So that's
nice. Is the saddest thing about Blood Bowl 2010-20 is this can no longer happen. This is as far as I'm concerned, this is the most Blood Bowl thing ever. Dead players getting MVP is hilarious, and I'm sad it's gone.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I've got 2 screens now, so I'm actually watching the chat. It's up permanently, so I should be able to respond when people say. So hello Tom, welcome to the show. So for all that he put himself through 4 SPP, whereas you got 16. Oh. So yeah, that was it. Right, betting then. Sadly, a point for you, Khornight, I believe.
Indeed, and also Man of the Week, Gruff gets a point too.
Wow,
Gruff running away with it. Okay, so next game.
Yeah, next game is, if you give me a second,
is Raspel's Pontifices, obviously coached by Raspel, against Bunch of Gamers, Hillnick. Or I'm not sure how you pronounce that. It's hydrogen, lithium, nickel, carbon.
Oh, is that what?
And I've forgotten what the name of the compound is.
Is it a human being? Is that what he's done?
No, it's the batteries. It's a lithium ion battery.
Oh right, okay. What? Any idea why he's done that? Or
I think
I think he's a chemist.
Yeah. when we
So I've not seen
when we
this one
did.
at all, Danton. So
But what? Yeah, I
I
was
need
just going to
to
say that the last two
you.
games had already been played when we last did the preview of the season. So we kind of know what the result was, but yeah, we haven't really looked at it in detail.
No. Yeah, they were played along. These two games were played very excitedly as soon as the division started up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's looking like he went for the score quite early on. Actually, he's got the goal there, turn 3 in a more or less safe space, and then scores on his turn 3. Is that maybe some unlikely dice at that point?
I mean, like, he. Oh no, he's got sure hands. I was wondering if maybe he was scared of the strip ball skink, but if he's got the ball on the sure hands blodge stepping goal, you should probably feel fairly safe about it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
could he have? A lot of the Sauruses looking at turn 3. Let's look at the end of turn 3. I mean, a lot of the Sauruses are
Tied
up there, so could he have?
Well, although
maybe? I mean, he's even got his golems round the back.
You say that, but I think this team has at least 2 or 3 sources with blodge break tackle. So I mean, his sources are pretty mobile.
And I think Khornight does like fouling, so just scoring and freeing up your players to do some big gang fouls is maybe
yeah.
I can understand him not wanting to stall against this lizard team, because I think it's a pretty hard lizard team to. I don't think this Necro team, especially with only one rookie wolf, I think they'd find it hard to stall against this team.
Hey Lee, how are you? Yeah, I get. I read the bit after the cyanide burning hell bit.
Yeah, hi Leeds. Yeah, and then he just ran it in. I mean, I guess that you got this Saurus here about to come in. He has got break tackle and mighty blow, which you really don't want to hit your goal, do you? Under any circumstances. So, yeah, all right, fair enough. And then it looks like I'm guessing they scored back before the end of the half. Yeah, there we go. So he's turn 7 and turn 8. Looks like he's going to score. Yeah, he does score on turn 8. So, who received?
Lizards received second half.
Yeah, so there must have been a turnover. Let's see if we can. No. Looks like the Necro received. Oh no! Why's the ball there?
Maybe he scored on turn 7, not turn 8. Was there a 1-turn attempt?
Yeah, maybe there was. Oh, let's have a look. Oh, it's turn 8. Yeah, so there was a 1-turn, and that's the setup. I think that's Rustball. Yeah, sorry, I'm really confused. So yeah, so then the lizard received. I'm just looking. It's weird how it logs the turns. That's all it is. If you look at the top right, it's 8, 8, 8, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8. So yeah, that's just a lot of stuff going on. And then the lizards received. Let's see where the ball was stolen. So it was between 13 and 14.
Was there a wizard in this?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
You can see on the sidelines next to the re-rolls. At the bottom was
he had
a bunch of
bribe and a babe by the looks of it. I don't know if there's a wizard before then.
No, if he uses the wizard, it goes greyed out. It still remains there, so it will show you.
So yeah, is it clear how he lost the ball?
It's not at all, because it shows him he received the first at first. Oh no, he didn't receive. The lizards received at first, and he stole it from the lizards, and then that's probably why he scored so.
Oh, that's why he scored so quickly as well.
Right, okay, here we go. That's the just rudimentary.
So, okay.
And that explains why there was a turn 8 after the lizards scored in the first half. Yeah,
and then
okay.
he received and then just kept hold of it.
Okay,
see it moving.
So how did the lizards lose the ball so quickly?
Okay, well I'll show you. So the ball landed.
Was it a short kick?
It was a fairly short kick. You can see it's just behind the. I don't know why I'm pointing with my hand. You can't see my hand. So the ball landed here. Hopefully you can see the mouse moving there. And yeah, he fluffed the pickup with no re-roll. And then on their turn, basically they just got enough players in. There was a scatter onto the ball, and it scattered towards the Necro team, which was handy. And then he went in and picked it up on a 3+. That's in a tackle zone because, again, the Crocs had gone stupid. So no tackle zone there. So just a simple pickup, and then then they ran it in.
All right. So that basically the Lizards had a nightmare start.
The Lizards had a nightmare start, yeah, and then that was it. I mean, that I'm just going to show you this point here. So he had the 2D onto that Saurus there, and then pushed him onto the ball, and the ball went there's the three bad ways it could have gone. It went probably in the worst one, which was into the Crocs' tackle zone, who's gone stupid, and a Zombie's tackle zone as well. So that was a bit of a nightmare. So easy pickup, and then that's why he scored so quickly. And then second half he just held on to it by the look of things, and then scored fairly late.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
But it looks like the Lizards kept going for it though, and then turned on turn 16. Did they go for a 1 turn? Well, if they did, it didn't work out. So.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine the second half was quite close. Probably could have gone either way. I mean, I don't think either side had a big numbers advantage, did they?
No, there's hardly any in the. Oh, can't speak today. There's hardly any in either of the boxes. I mean, the biggest thing is he was missing a Saurus KO'd, and then his Crocs actually got a strength bust. But he was only a rookie, but that's still pretty harsh to deal with. And then I think around turn 12 or 13, the ball was. Oh no, it wasn't. I thought the ball was sacked at that point. Oh, they did get a sack on the ball actually in turn 13, and that was on a.
I wonder if it was
dice,
his.
Which is quite nice.
Well, it was probably his super sacker skink.
It wasn't. It was his killer Saurus actually.
All right. Okay.
Paulus. Where's Paulus? There he is, Paulus. So he was the block, the blacker one that ran in after a quite a dodgy push there to get a go on the ball carrier, which was nice. He didn't get that move was started by that strength 1 skink, but he rolled a 2 on the Dauntless, not a 3. Else that would have been 2 dice, which should have been 1 dice at least, which would have been nice. But he didn't need that, and then he went in on the killer one, but it didn't manage to collect it. So again, the Necro got a fairly good bounce there. It bounced back towards their end zone, and then they were able to collect it on turn 15, and then run it in. So a close game, absolutely, and I don't think either of them gave up there. They went through right to the end. So looks like a good game.
So betting wise, was this one played before we actually did the betting? Because I can see that Khornight was the only one.
I think it was, but I think did a couple of us bet on it, Khornight? Are you mid-report, or can you talk? He can't talk. He's not there.
I think it's a good opportunity to outvote Khornight and basically tell him that Neil Poir.
Okay. Someone's at the door. He says. Right. Give me a second. Have you checked the betting? Sorry, Danton.
Yeah. I was just going to say that. I mean that he's the only one in Discord that is registered as having bet for Hildnick, but because this was played so early,
it doesn't count.
I don't think it counts, but we're waiting here.
I think this one was really early, wasn't it? I think this.
I think this was the very, very first one. Yeah.
Okay. All right, fine. So we will have no points for that one. And then the last one, which I think some people did bet on, was Dwarfs versus MB Carmack's Chaos. So if you give me a second, I'll just get that one up for you. And Danton, did you say you watched a little bit of this one as well?
No, I didn't see this at all. No.
Oh, right. Okay. Right. Let's have a quick look. Here we go. It's F11. That. Yeah, so I was playing this one in the background. So I mean, again, I think just the Chaos got quite a few removals. So you can see a Dwarf has left the pitch already in turn 4, and then he's joined by a few others. And then again, a kind of best of all, we've got this move here where you can see this Dwarf who's lying down already. He's already on the floor. He's the strength up Slayer. He's got pros. Well, you can see the skills on the screen now. He's got loads of skills, really well. And then MB Carmack nicely manoeuvres to get yeah, like a 5 assist foul, I think, and yeah, dead. And then the Apo says, yeah, do you know what? He is dead. So that happening turn 5, that's pretty major, isn't it, Danton? Don't you think? So again, he's
Yeah, but the main thing is it's a dead dwarf, so people celebrate.
yeah, people celebrate. There was much rejoicing, and quite a major one as well. I mean, I know he does. He's been through quite a few slayers, Toria Tatavan. But yeah, if you look at the
It was strength 4, I think,
yeah, strength 4.
with jump up, with the whole shebang. Basically, it's a big player to lose. Yeah.
It is, and then but by turn 8, Sabertooth Badger's turn 8. This is when they scored. You can see the movement on the pitch there. I mean, he was uncontested. All the dwarfs were at their end. But yeah, going to the next half, and I mean, 4 dwarfs are down, 3 badly hurt, and 1 killed. So again, he you're not going to really come back from that. Although he did have quite a big bench actually, but he's still down players. And then yeah, then the chaos just went in. I think they stole the ball as well. It should be here in a minute. Yeah, he basically went all the way back. You can see there, the ball's moving slightly forward. But yeah, not quite enough. Yeah, there we go. That's the blitz there. So he had to potato essentially to get the ball within scoring range by turn 15, and that beast was able to GFI into the ball and knock him over, and then that was it. That's how the game ended. So yeah, so 1-0 to the chaos really. But I guess really from those removals early on, they're all good players.
I mean,
all had guard. Apart from
it's obviously it's a bad matchup for dwarves, right? High TV chaos, with 2 or 3. I mean, he doesn't. I don't think this chaos team has a lot of claw mighty.
No, I don't think it does, to be honest. I don't think it's like a completely horrible kill team, but
yeah, it's not. But I think it has a lot of quite useful utility beastmen, and obviously the warriors I think are reasonably developed. I mean, he has like a good smattering of block guard at least. So yeah, it's I mean, it's a great result for the Chaos team, and very glad to see that Slayer dead.
Yeah, that Slayer's very dead, which will please everyone in the whole division, I think. And Tom says, yeah, they're 2 bash teams culling each other, which is good. But yeah, the Chaos weren't really that cold, to be honest. Unfortunately, it was more the dwarfs that got hit in that one. Yeah. So I mean, again, look at that for SPP. Poor. I mean, you shouldn't really say poor dwarves because I hate them, but just for all that horrible pressure and nearly making it at the end there just to get 5 SPP and Sabertooth Badge there getting. Was that a bang from you, Danton, or was that Khornight?
Yeah.
His door? Oh, it was you.
The dog was invading.
Right, doing 15 SPPs worth. So yeah, there we go. Okay, so betting wise, I don't know if you got it in front of you there, Danton.
Yep, I do. Actually, for some reason, my bet's not on here. So maybe this one actually was played even before the other one.
Okay.
So again, this is another one that may have been very early, but the only people here registered that bet on Chaos were yourself and Gruff.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, the first 2 games were so early that I don't know if
yeah, you might not
if they count.
Who would you bet it on?
I would have pretty sure I would have bet on the Chaos just because I think
fine.
it's.
Well, as Khornight's not here, we can add scores on for that, so that's fine. Because he didn't. That means everyone gets a point apart from him, which is brilliant. So let's do
that. Yeah, I think he should drop out of these more often.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that was the first match day. Again, really quick look at the leaderboard, although at this stage it's pretty meaningless, to be honest. But yeah, there's no draws this week, so top 5 all won and bottom 6 all lost. I'm not sure that the bot on the actual OCC considers goal difference as the first tiebreak, but I think it does because the Vamps won by 2, didn't they? And then everyone else just won by 1. So
No,
Oh,
so the Underworld won by 2 as well.
right,
But
okay.
the Vamp scored more.
Right.
But actually, the OCC tiebreakers, they are different to the like in-game ones. Basically, they do consider TD difference first,
Right.
but the second tiebreaker is not who scored the most TDs; it's who conceded the least. So,
Okay.
so if this was actually like the final table,
Yeah.
the Underworld would be in first and the Vamps in second.
Yeah, because obviously they you scored 2, didn't you, against the Vamps rather than just the
Yeah.
1 against
So
Wolfpack. So
I would actually be bottom because I conceded 4.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's not so good. So yeah, let's ignore that. Let's ignore facts we don't like. So that's fine. Okay. So yeah, I mean, really early days. Look at the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much to say on that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's important to for teams to get off on the right foot, but there's obviously it's a long season, and
Yeah,
yeah,
you can certainly absorb a loss, can't you?
yeah. I mean, at least like for example, my loss obviously is it's painful, but at least there was no serious damage to the team. I managed to get a decent amount of SPP, so I'm still in reasonably good shape.
Yeah, absolutely. No deaths. Unlike some other teams who lost some. There's been quite some big players lost this week.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the following week, and we're going to do betting for this. Obviously, Khornight was going to be the scribe and write down what we were saying, but he's not around. So
I mean,
maybe
I can just get out like a notepad or something and just sort of jot
let's
it down.
go. Let's go old school, Danton. So yeah, jot down a notepad and then just take a picture of it at the end and put it up on the Discord so we can add the bets appropriately when the things come up. But yeah, I mean the match day hasn't rolled officially and doesn't till midnight, so that's why it hasn't gone. But first game then is Warpstone Watchers versus Motivated Squad. So Warpstone Watchers, I don't think are in a too bad a condition. Obviously, they didn't get any serious injuries in this week, so it's still more or less the same as when the season started. I don't think there's been any other levels. Those blitzes are still horrible. The 2 throwers are still fine. I don't think his lineman leveled at all, but yeah, they're both got exactly what they need with wrestle. So
I think he had either a thrower or a lineman missing the first game.
right,
So I mean, his TV is like pretty high.
yeah, it's up to
For
1700 now with
no,
7
he
on the
no
bank.
no I just no he had the troll missing. I think the
That's it.
first game.
Yeah, I
Um,
think you're right.
yeah, so he's got obviously 20K extra in the bank, but it's a pretty high TV for an underworld team. And yeah, I mean the team is in great shape. Really, the injuries aren't really very important.
No, not really.
Just a few move busts.
And yeah, and despite his losses, Nibenon is still 210 above him. So he's got a squad of 1910.
So has he replaced the dead Chorf?
3, 4, 5. No, he hasn't. He hasn't got quite enough to replace the Chorf. He's only got 70k in the bank. So how much is a
Isn't that
Chorf? Are
what
they 80?
I think?
90?
No, aren't they? I thought they were 70K. Well, I mean, a normal dwarf lineman is 70K. Is a Chorf lineman more expensive?
Well, I wouldn't have thought so. But I honestly don't. I've paid Chorf so regularly. I don't really know. Maybe I could have a look at. Well, while you're talking a bit.
Well, hang on. I mean, like for example, the bottom one has guard and claw, so that's 50K on top of the normal price. Yeah, so it's 70K.
70. So he could, and he probably should replace that dwarf blocker, especially against Underworld as well, shouldn't he? So we can expect.
So how many players does he actually have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's only got 11. So yeah, I would buy the lineman because especially obviously you want the tackle against the goblins.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean it'll mean he's giving away 70K more, and I think Underworld's at home again, right? So they get their stadium again.
Yeah.
So I'd be very surprised if they didn't take Glart again. They can probably get Glart and a wizard again.
Yeah, I think they will absolutely. Yeah, they're at home. They've got the Nuffle also, haven't they? So yeah, I think they'll definitely look at Glart again, and then maybe the Wizard on top as well. But I mean, I hate to say it because last week he should have destroyed Khornight's AV7. So will he get rid of the goblins this week? Do you think? I mean, there'll only be two. There'll only be two without Mighty Blow.
Yeah.
So that'd be at least 3 hits every turn on goblins.
You would expect. Plus, he's got that Bull Centaur with Mighty Blow, Tackle Frenzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would expect him to do. I mean, the Underworld is a lot weaker team in terms of strength compared to Khornight's team, right? With Khornight, he had like 2 Blodge Ulfwarners, a Blodge Strength 4 runner, as well as the Blodge Yeti.
Yeah.
So, Khornight had a lot of strength, and he had Cheney. So the Underworld only have the Troll and, Glart as Strength 4. But everyone, the vast majority of the team is Strength 2, or, at least half the team, rather. And sure, he should win the Bash War, but, maybe, I mean, we know Wolfbart's a very good coach, so he could well outmaneuver him.
Okay, well, I'm going to go for a draw, I think, for that one.
Yeah, I mean, draw is not a bad shout. I'm going to say that the Chorf's dice are going to turn around and that they'll win it.
Yeah, I mean, that was very much my second choice, I think, because if his injury dice do run hot, then those poor Underworld teams, they're leaving, they're off. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Okay, Danton, you're up next. So you're against Raswell's Pontifices, which I'm sure you faced before. So let's have a quick look at the Pontifices team. I don't think he will replace. Oh, he has replaced his Crocs. No, he has not replaced his Crocs. Who's got a strength down, so I imagine he'll be sacked. He's only got 90k in the bank, so
so you can't afford to replace him.
Can't afford to replace him. But apart from that, he's got all his Sauruses and then a good load of Skinks as well. He's missing another one, but he was only a sidestep one, so
So he's only got 11 players.
Yeah.
Which is obviously a good thing. And the TV, sorry, I can't quite see it because the betting is obscuring. Is that
1880?
1880. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty kind of efficient TV level as well for this team, which has got a lot of skills.
Yeah. And then your team, he's at 1880 and you are
1750.
So you get just over 100, 120 in the bank, and you're just missing the one dirty player. He's got an AG bus. Are you going to keep him?
Yeah, he had a niggle previously, but I think it's still worth keeping him because dirty players, obviously,
Yeah, they don't really around too much. At least you get another one, right?
Yeah, exactly. The next rookie lineman that levels, I'd give dirty player to, and then maybe get rid of him at some point, or just he's got the niggle as well, so I'm sure people will be targeting him if they can.
Yeah.
I got
only one tackle.
Well, yeah, and the tackle is brand new as well, right? Because I talked about it before. I only just leveled that Mighty Blow Blitzer up last game.
Right.
But at least, he's a tool that can be useful in this matchup, right?
Absolutely.
With definitely, you need someone who can bang on the skinks a bit. And even he's got 2 or 3 Blodge Sauruses, so definitely I need at least one tackle piece. But 100, I reckon it's probably a wizard, right? It's 130 difference, and just stick
Wait, what? 130?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, no, I missed it. Hello, by the way.
Hello again.
Sorry about
that.
That's all
right. There's a water leak somewhere around, and it may be inside the flat.
Nice. We already covered the first game, which is Wolfbark against Nibanon. And we looked at that. The Nibanon hasn't replaced the dead Chorf yet, but he's got exactly enough money to do so. So we'd be very surprised, I think, if he doesn't. But likely to be Glart and a wizard again, I would imagine, in that one, because Wolfbark is at home. But anyway, Ethel went for a draw, and I've actually gone for a Chorf win, even though, I mean, I think, we obviously know that Wolfbark's a very good coach. But I don't know, I just think the Chorfs might their casualty dice might light up for this one.
After last week's not
Yeah.
lighting up viewing.
Last pillow hitting.
Yeah, I'm definitely for Wolfbark on this one. I think, I think generally I'm going to be for Wolfbark, as I think he is one of the the better coaches in Blood Bowl generally. I think he can easily do well.
I mean, that's definitely fair. The only times I bet against him is just because more thinking about the matchup rather than the coaching skill. I mean, I think you can't get a worse matchup for Underworld and Dwarves almost. I mean, Dwarves maybe is even worse. But yeah, it's just a horrible matchup.
I mean, there's something to be said about claw pomming AV9, right? I actually, I personally have a pretty good result as Underworld against both Dwarves and Dwarves. But that might also be something to be said about, that when I was playing Underworld, the kind of coaches who are picking Dwarves and Dwarfs, are very bash focused and bangers, yeah. And
Noble's not a banger, I wouldn't say.
No, although he definitely his coaching style is more bangy, let's say, rather than him being a banger. I would say. Does that make sense?
I mean, he's built his team like a banger team, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's a bangers team, isn't it? Let's be honest. Come on, that's one that gets in, gets rowdy, and then picks at the ball at the end, kind of thing.
But yeah, I mean, and I was saying to Ethelred, I mean, the difference between this matchup and your game is that, he found it very difficult to get stuck into your team because it's got a lot more strength, that he couldn't really bully your team, but he can definitely bully the Underworld team.
Yeah, but I think Wolf's proved that he's pretty good at still winning those games where he's being bullied, right? The World are a team who just have to cope with.
He wouldn't be in the champs if he got bullied too.
Oh no, for sure.
But
with
a
75-80% record.
Well, I mean, that's why I bet on a draw, because as much as Wolf is good, as Danton was saying, Dwarfs are kryptonite, really, aren't they, to Underworld? So that's why. Anyway, next one is Danton Raspel. So what do you think about that one, Khornight?
And Khornight. I mean, I was just writing these down on a notepad because you weren't here. I don't know if you want to take that over again, because you said you were going to.
I've got the snip, and I put me down as Worth, Ethelred as middle, D as motivation squad.
Okay, right. So I'll stop recording it on my side.
Oh, his beautiful pad that he gift from his.
It was painful, so I'm quite happy.
Is that the first bit of writing you've done in about 2 years, like me? Forgotten how to write. Okay, so Khornight, the next one we were just looking at was Raspel versus the Celtic Tigers. So
yeah, he's missing a Crocs who got strength busted and a skink, so he's at 11. I've got 12 players. My dirty player is obviously Adge busted in the last game, and I get 130k. So, I mean, to me, it seems like Wizard is a no-brainer. And yeah, I mean, it's a pity my dirty player is out. I would have liked to, stick the boot in a bit, but I guess it's going to be a hard game. I mean, the sources are very well developed.
Yeah.
And he's obviously got a couple of very good skinks as well. So we'll see. At least I now have a Mighty Blow Tackle Blitzer, and the fact that he has no Crocs should mean that the skink should be a little bit more exposed, because he can't, quite screen them as effectively.
And he's only got 11 players, right?
And he's only got 11 players. So if I can get some good pot shots at skinks, and thin them down a little bit, it might be a reasonably close game.
Yeah, I think you're going to win this one. I think. Well, I make that sound really certain, but I think you're more likely to win it. I think that's the most likely outcome. But like when the bot is saying 19, 19, and 21, it's always close in Blood Bowl. But yeah, I'm going for the humans.
And I'm going to go for another draw, because otherwise I think we'd all be betting on you, Danton. So I'm just going to mix it up. I think you will win, but I want to go for a draw just so we don't all get caught.
I'm actually going for a draw as well.
Ooh.
Even though,
Stewart's
you know,
inquiry.
I'm hedging my bets. I mean, definitely I'm going for a win. You know, I'd never play for a draw on purpose, but I mean, you know, we've got the 2 natural 1-turners as well. It's not.
Will it be a high-scoring game? Do you think?
No, I think it could be a 2-2. But yeah, I'm playing for the win. But I don't know why. I'm back of my mind. I'm just thinking, you know, it could be hard to stop his team scoring as well.
I mean, his natural 1-turner is noticeably less good than yours. What with only having actually 3, right? And also getting the ball to him being skink
is harder.
Yeah,
is harder than your, you know.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, I mean, at least it means that, you know, if I don't win, I have a consolation prize of getting the bet right.
Unless you lose.
Unless I lose, yeah.
And it all goes horribly wrong.
Yeah.
But no, I can't bet on myself losing, especially at this stage. I mean, I think I really need a win as well after the initial setback to kind of, you know, have any chances to, you know, get up and fight for the top standings.
Okay, right. Next game then is Turia Tavatan versus 1990s. So due to their tactics last game, the 1990s aren't in too bad a shape at all. They've come in with 14 players, no significant injuries over the previous week's games. So yeah, they're 1890 more or less exactly they were going into game 1, to be honest. And then the Dwarfs, however, they're the ones who lost a few. So let's have a quick look at them when I can find them. Here we go.
Didn't they lost a movement for Troll Slayer, didn't they? Was that was the one? So they didn't lose that much. They've got a fairly full team.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought they had more MNG, but they haven't. They only lost the Troll Slayer. Yeah, he was. I think he was movement 5. I think the other one he lost previously was movement 4. But yeah, he was strength 4. He had the whole shebang, and yeah, I think he was if he wasn't a legend, he was a superstar. Absolutely.
He was strength 4 with jump up and palm, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I may have had something else as well. But obviously, I mean, the one he still has is amazing still. But,
I mean, Troll Slayers are kind of the worst thing about the Dwarf team.
Yeah.
So having one less of them is I think this team looks more scary without one of those slow, low agility, frenzy players. I mean, obviously he's built them to be the killers, but
yeah, I still got two other strength 4 pieces as well. But I mean, it's a lot more TV efficient now.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
although he's
go on.
Yeah. So actually, he's the lower TV team now, so he gets 110 TBM inducements. Like, what do the Dwarves even do with that?
Merc Roller? No, I don't suggest it.
I mean, that's kind of funny, but, you know, it's kind of not bad, you know.
I kind of think he'll get a new Troll Slayer, won't he, before the game?
Yeah, of course, I guess.
He'll get another one of those, just give him an extra player. And yeah, I mean,
he's got 13 players now, AV9, against a team who are not that killy. I wouldn't even necessarily want another player.
I wouldn't go for an extra Troll Slayer.
No, you'd save it for maybe the game after or something.
I mean, I just don't. With this team at this TV, I wouldn't buy back. I'd stick to one Troll Slayer. Yeah. I just think it's, you know, in terms of efficiency. I mean, you can get a wizard. Okay, for dwarves isn't ideal, but it does kind of, you know, make it harder sometimes for the other team to stall.
Yeah. He does have a movement 7 runner as well, so
I mean, like
it can make a bit more use of it.
Like he tried to do in the other game when he had to solo that runner. I mean, he could have wizarded the only player that could reach it, maybe. So I mean, it's not really a ball grabbing wizard. It's more of a attrition or stopping them getting to you wizard, isn't it? That's more useful for dwarves. So
at this TV actually. His second runner, I think, would be a lot more effective if it had 30 player instead of block. Just because if he is getting inducements in quite a few games now, then having that 30 player option, then, you know, could be useful.
Movement 4 30 player, movement 6 instead of movement 4.
Like a Zon, isn't it? So, yeah. Okay. Well, what do you think? Khornight, you can go first on this one.
I actually think the 1990s have a good chance of it. Actually, no, I'm going to go for a draw.
Okay.
There we are. Before you jump in there and get another draw, Ethel, there we are. Makes you have to pick.
Danton? I've got 10 viewers now, by the way, of which probably at least 9 are bots. But hello, guys. Nearly at the end of the second week's predictions. Danton, sorry, I've interrupted you.
010001. Sorry, that's the bots out there.
Actually, I can see Gruff is one of the viewers. So, hello, Gruff.
Hello, Gruff.
Yeah, I probably would have thought draw as my first thought, but I'm actually going to go for the Bretts. I think that they can, use their superior movement to maybe just slightly outmaneuver the Dwarves.
It's funny, I was going to go for the Bretts and then just,
Well, to shock you all, I'm going to go for the Dwarfs in this game, actually.
I think it's up in the air, right?
Yeah,
I can really see any of the three results happening.
And I think if Turilla gets the or Turilla, he's Finnish, isn't he? So it's probably Turilla, not Turilla. But if Lasker pulls his tricks of not engaging like he did last week, then I think Turilla, if he gets early casualties, he'll force Lasker into a similar state of shock. So he won't compete, and the Dwarfs will win. I think that's quite likely.
You never know, though. I mean, if it happens the second time, then he might kind of get more desperate or more aggressive because of it. It can go either way.
Also, the Dwarfs maybe the actual plan was to hope that the Underworld overcommit, leave the ball alone, and then he was going to come back, and that the Dwarfs could definitely fall foul of that. With Bretts, right? The Bretts could definitely get round them and be a pain.
Run round them, absolutely. But are people going to fall for that at this level?
I'm pretty sure I did.
Are people that's not you going to fall for it? All right, cool. Okay, and then probably the one on everyone's game card for the week is MB Carmack's Bats Are Back versus Kjellstad's. Oh no, I got them completely wrong.
Yep.
So Sabertooth Badges.
I was hoping you go all the way through with that one. Looking forward to that.
Then I got it just wrong again. MB Carmack Sabertooth Vag stands for Vagabond versus Kjellstad's Bats Are Back. So let's have a look at the Chaos team. I don't think they sustained any lasting injuries from last week's game. They're still at 1980, 140k in the bank. It's all there. I mean, again, Danton and I were talking about this. I think when you weren't here for our review of this game, but basically, he's got the one killer, possibly two. There's a bit of Mighty Blow there as well, but it's not that killy, is it? But that's better at this level, isn't it? Not to have a completely killy team, because certainly the claw would be wasted against some teams.
I mean, all his eggs are in one basket, or two baskets, let's say. The team is generally strong and guardy and blocky, and that's great. And a bit of Mighty Blow smattering in there. But then there's one killer and one ball carrier, and if either of them go, it could if they go early, that's a real problem for this team, isn't it? Yeah. And maybe you could say that warrior with strength 5/10 is also a star of some kind.
Just need stand firm, really.
Yeah. Although basically you've got that eggs in one basket thing of, if any one of those players goes, it's a massive. The team quality drops massively when any one of those three goes. That's the problem, isn't it? But I mean, I like Chaos can build massively in the end, and this is. I don't think this is his plan. He's not chosen to go this way. It's just that the other killers have all died. He keeps trying to make new killers, and they keep dying.
I mean, the strength 4 block goat is a reasonable backup ball carrier, I guess. Mm-hmm. But obviously, it's not anywhere near as good as the other one. But still,
I mean, that is one of the great strengths of Chaos, is everyone having Agi 3, everyone blitzing on strength 4, everyone being not too slow. That anyone can do any job at any time. It's really good for getting scores on surprising players and stuff.
Yeah. But, I'm very surprised that the Bats TV is still 2,000 after the mauling that I gave their thralls.
Yeah.
Well.
I mean, there's two things going on here, aren't there? Like, vampires are essentially purely built to beat killer bash teams like Chaos, right? So, especially this Bat team is faster, stronger.
And it's only 9 players, right? So if you add the 2 thralls, that's going to be an extra 80k, right?
Yeah. I think it's 10 players.
Sorry, 10 players. Yeah, so 2040.
2040, yeah.
But it's a hard team for the Chaos to
it is
counter, isn't it?
I mean, normally it is, but with no bench, it's going to be a little bit tricky, right? I mean, if the Chaos can get some early attrition in on this team, then the Vamps could struggle. Plus, they're getting some inducement money as well. They could get. I wouldn't be surprised if they got a bribe, for example.
Well, so I've been speaking with Carmack on Discord, and he actually said he hopes he can get bribes, plural. Which I did point out will involve him spending his entire bank to get 2 of them. I mean, I don't think that's actually very likely, but
he'll only get.
I don't think that's a big secret.
He'll only get 40 petty cash.
No,
so yeah,
60.
60.
Sorry.
60. Well, but it's worth chucking in 40k for a bribe, I reckon.
Well, it's champs, so it's worth chucking in 140k in it for 2 bribes.
Well,
Isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Kjellstad is his rival for the champs, so spend the money. This is a must-win game. If you want to win the champs, you've got to beat Kjellstad. I think that's on the line at least. So chuck the money at it. Spend the money. You can't be thinking like it's a normal game, because it's not. It's the champs now, so you've really got to try and if you're serious about winning the OCC, then you've got to do whatever it takes. And if that means you put all your money in to get 2 bribes, then I'd do it, really. Because a couple of more missing thralls, and he could be in a world of trouble, couldn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, so I think he was joking when he said bribes, plural. I don't think he's going to spend that money. I think
no, I don't think. I don't think so. But he should.
You put a great case for it. Actually, you made me think I would maybe get 2 bribes for a second, and then I thought about it a bit more.
Very convincing.
Like the fact that, I mean, Kjellstad could end up with 12 players if he buys.
He could buy 2 thralls, definitely.
Yeah.
And at that point, then maybe yes, you do go for it.
At that point, you would only have to stick in 100k, right?
Mm.
For the second bribe.
Yeah.
You get one bribe for free.
But against an 11-man Vamp team, with the amount of mighty blow that Carmack has already, do you really need to get a bribe? I mean, he's playing against a team who don't have a bench, and he has a bench. Just foul with a dirty player and let him get sent off. Don't like a bribe is not worth actually that much.
What else would you spend? Anything else then? Because what's your other alternatives? You've got let's call it 100k, and admittedly you're gonna have to put some of your own cash in to make that 100k. But what are you gonna get?
I mean, the only other option is a wizard, really. Yeah. And it's not a bad option, because obviously if he gets the ball on, for example, his strength sinks Vamp, it's not an easy prospect to get it off him. But yeah, I mean, I think the attrition plan is a decent plan, though, against a thinned out Vamp team like that.
And attrition always works.
Well, that's the problem. That's why you want to invest in bribes.
Yeah, I mean, and Vamps have regen as well, obviously, which is another factor to take into it.
Well, I think you said earlier, didn't you, Khornight? Vamps are very much designed to stop high TV chaos, aren't they? In this long format, because of regen, because of
the problem with the wizard, though, is that, I mean, for example, like in my game, even if you get the ball off them with the wizard, they could often just get it straight back the next turn.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a really hard one to call, I think. I don't know. I don't want to go for a draw again. I'm going to go on Carmack, I think, for this one, Khornight. So make a note.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but only if he spends it all on bribes.
I'm also going on Carmack. I think part of it, though, is because it's the result I'm hoping for. So
do you meet the following week? Oh, no.
No. It's just obviously. I mean, having lost to the Vamps, I'd quite like to see them,
Yeah, they lose now.
taken down a peg or two as well, and just to make the whole race, kind of more wide open.
God damn it! I was totally going to go for Carmack. I might change my mind just because you both went for it. No, I'm sticking to it. I actually do think Carmack has a better chance, but with having more than 11 players, like my opinion might be changed a little bit if Kelstad gets a bench. I still think Carmack has a fairly big advantage against this Vamp team. He just needs to remove a few thralls and then get them to burn through those 4 rerolls.
Yeah, you say that, but I mean, you could say that about any Chaos team at this level, right? Even like a really killy Chaos team. Would that have a better chance than his team against this?
It is tough.
Okay. Have you decided?
Yeah. I'm going for Carmack as well.
All right. We've got 3 minutes to this last one, I think. So let's go quite quickly. So it's you, Khornight. You're playing this Necro team. It's again the same squad. He's got 160k now, so he could get a new wolf.
I'm pretty sure he could afford a new wolf for the last game.
I think he
didn't.
could, yeah, but he didn't. I mean, he'll have.
TV is pretty high though.
Yeah, he will have spiraling expenses now, so that 160k is probably going to stick for a while because he's not going to get any cash from winnings really, unless he rolls high on that.
He's minus 30k every time he.
Yeah, which is quite a lot. I mean, even with his fan factor, still. And yeah, your Norse team, I don't think you're missing too many. In fact, you're missing no one for the next game. So it's more or less a straight fight then between you and the Necro.
Mm-hmm. 8 TV difference. Obviously,
I'm betting on Bunch of Gamers for this one, just to put it out there. But yeah, go on.
And obviously, I'm betting on myself for this one.
Yeah.
Obviously have to. And Hilnick is a great coach and has beaten me massively in the past with halflings. So let's start with that one.
Make a
note. But it's a slow Necro team, and I do think I am the Norse are kind of the equal of this kind of team. I won't be looking for removals because both teams have got fairly large benches, so it will just be about the ball.
Are you gonna go for a bribe, or what are you gonna take inducements for?
Assuming the TVs stay the same as they currently do, it's probably Boomer. Because Boomer is
no, you're not.
No, but Boomer's 60 and 80k. It's an extra player. It's a body strength. And he's AB9.
Yeah.
They've got Claw, but the Claw doesn't have Mighty Blow, and and the rest of the team.
No, the Claw is not the scary part of the team.
Not at all.
I mean,
yeah,
the whites and the
fleshies and the
fleshies are very solid.
Yeah, I mean the strength 4 white hasn't got tackle though, and he is moving 5.
No, but he's basically another flesh column.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 3 flesh columns are going to be real problems to deal with.
Between them, they're all movement 4, aren't they? If you take an average.
Yeah, and they're all stand firm, and 2 of them are blodge, and the one that isn't blodge is strength 5. And they all have guard, and they're all going to stand next to each other and be really annoying.
Indeed. Guys, unfortunately, I've got to go for a meeting. But
who are you going for?
I'm going to go for a draw.
Okay,
fair enough.
Cool.
Okay, cheers, Danton. See you tomorrow potentially.
Possibly. I'll let you know.
All right, cool. Grand.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Yeah.
And that's it then. That's the last one of the week. So yeah. So I mean, it's turning out quite well. Do you like the quick match overviews that I've got on Dice or Not?
I do. Yeah, Dice or Not's great. And he is still improving it. Although the thing that you said was improvement about showing the arrows, that's been there for a little while now.
Oh,
but
right. I've not used it for a while.
He is still doing stuff.
But he's certainly increased the screen size because I've not zoomed in that browser. So that makes it a lot easier to read. I have also got a new monitor, but maybe I don't think that's related.
You've only mentioned it twice so far. You should mention it again.
But yeah, I didn't last week. I didn't mention it was my birthday at all. Not even
yeah. You did once, but maybe that was
Did I?
before the stream.
Okay. Well, thank you for wishing me happy birthday last week. That was appreciated.
I think I did off stream, didn't I?
Yeah, I think you did. And yeah, so that's it really. Well, my game tomorrow now is not at 11. Sorry, it's at 2 or 1:30, 2.
So you will actually have time to do the stream beforehand.
Should have time for the stream beforehand. Yeah. So I don't think when I last checked that. Yeah, Dreamland Gaming had confirmed he can make it tomorrow. So if you are free, it'd be great to have you on. But if you're not, then I'd have to do it solo, I guess. But
yeah, no, I'll happily do it. Don't worry. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's raid, and then we can we can go. Thanks
Raid,
for watching, everyone. Oh, last thing.
Yep.
How do we put it onto YouTube? Is that an easy thing to do at the end?
So, have you?
I've got a channel. I guess I can just publish to YouTube as well, through Twitch, can't I? I think.
So, do you say you don't save the files locally, do you? I think you need to download it from Twitch and then upload it because you haven't. Because no. OBS will have actually automatically saved the file somewhere, won't it? Check in your OBS settings.
Oh, okay.
But I have OBS to just download everything, to save everything as a file. Like, so if you look at OBS at the moment, right?
Yeah.
There's the button that says start streaming.
Yeah.
And does the button that says start recording, is that also pressed down at the same time?
No.
Oh, okay. Mine automatically presses both at once. Okay. So yeah, in that case, you'll need to. Oh Christ! You'll need to find.
I can do that. Who's
Yeah.
Who else is on? I'll do that very shortly.
Just Eliod, I think, is the only person.
Oh, go and raid him then.
Blood Bowl,
and good luck everyone in the champs.
And good luck everyone in tier 3.
Yeah, and see. Well, it's for tomorrow, isn't it? But yeah, see you.
See you tomorrow.
See you next time.
Yep. Bye, Tom.
Bye, Tom.
I pressed bye. I pressed go before I pressed bye. Before I said bye.
That's okay.
But yeah.
Because what's the It's the last day of CCL, isn't it? Oh, I better stop streaming, can't I?
Yeah.